I am disappointed by the merch offerings.
I saw nothing.
Nothing.
I saw a cut young gentleman.
Interesting.
Who had a Hotties for Kabbalah t-shirt on.
Hotties for Harris.
Hotties for Harris shirt on with the sleeves off.
Did he cut him or was it a sleeveless tee?
He cut him. And I licked those motherfucking pecs. But yeah, he cut him. And he was with a woman who was wearing just like in my head, I remember it as a Kamala shirt in the Barbie logo, but I might just be doing sexist Imagineering there. But it was like a pinkish shirt. And I did see that shirt for sale. So I could be mixing memories.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of it.
We have some good stuff in terms of merch that I brought, but the Democrats aren't ready for it.
They're not ready for it. I don't even think our listeners are ready for it.
They're not ready for it either.
And you know what? They're never going to see it.
They're never going to see it.
We cannot put it into production.
We can't. But not only can we not put it in production, I feel like we'll get in trouble from the police if we put it on the internet, even in just like a joke
There definitely
form.
is one that will be for sale tonight. But that's it.
That's it.
And in person only.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DNC Day 2.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
No,
Hey, y'all.
No, don't do it.
What is up? What are we serving today, Girliepops?
Oh my God. The way that you just like shifted and changed your entire body and like cocked your head.
Uh-huh. What am I serving right now? What am I serving?
No, I don't know.
What am I serving?
Stop.
What am I fucking serving right now? You know it.
Guy waterboarding. So what am I serving?
What am I serving? What am I giving? What am I fucking giving?
Whose mother?
I am giving Braze.
That's cute. Me? I'm just Liz. We are, of course, as always, joined by
Producer Young Chomsky.
There he is. And this is TrueAnon Day 2.
And we're serving democracy. We're serving freedom. We're serving racial awareness. We are serving everything under the sun. Because, Hunty, this restaurant is open for business, and it's the brunch menu.
Okay, listen. Yesterday we were a little loopy because we had just come from an event that we are going to detail today. But we're clear-eyed. We're sober.
No, Liz is not.
I've got my matcha right here.
Yeah. She's got a matcha vodka right in front of her. It is disgusting. And yet you drink it with this big
Stanley.
Stanley cup. Liz has a massive 48-ounce Stanley cup, half matcha, half vodka, with a giant metallic straw that she is just like stirring in there with these big ass ice cubes, and it's making this noise.
Yeah, because I bring my own ice cream.
She brings her own ice cubes.
Of
She
course.
brings her own ice cubes there.
I do.
We were crazy yesterday, but we're normal now.
I don't think that we're ever going to be normal again after what we are going through today. We are here in Chicago, in case you don't know what we're talking about. We are at the DNC. And by that, I mean we are not at the DNC.
No.
We are not allowed in the DNC for reasons that are between me and God.
We're in the DNC vicinity.
We're in the DNC-ish.
We're in the DNC. We're in the greater DNC area.
Yes.
And we have been inside the DNC security envelope.
Yes. Yes. But we have not been inside the convention proper because, again, they don't want the heat that we'd bring.
They don't want it. In fact, they are fuck. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to talk like a Democrat this whole episode. So I gotta think of what they are. They are cowards, I fear. They are cowards, I fear.
Is that what they do?
The Girliepops are doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a little bit of research this morning.
The girlies are doing Yoda voice.
I looked up on TikTok DNC Creators Lounge, and I just looked at all of the people on there and watched all their videos.
What were they doing?
They're serving, frankly, and they're serving and they're giving and they're having Brat Summer, and they are being demure and mindful. Which, by the way, execution now. And I'm sorry because it's going to lean heavily. We're gonna fuck up the ratio of the nation. I'm afraid. I fear, because they also be saying that. But we're gonna have to start killing people who say things like that. No disrespect. I know you did say that.
We don't need to kill them. We just need to round them up.
Yeah, we need to put them in preventative like what's it called when you kind of arrest somebody and there's no charges and you hold them? Like preventative detention?
Conservatorship?
No. Conservatorship's for like the Britney Spears.
Like
crazy.
Like a psych hold.
No. It's like a thing that regimes do, where they just sort of arrest you and they put you in a. Anyway, we're going to do that to a lot of people.
It's an internment camp.
We're going to put people in internment camps. But speaking of, there was a big internment camp last night where Obama spoke.
Yes.
You watched this?
I did. I watched some of it this morning, kind of the highlights. Well, because I like to, when we, Bryce knows this about me, when we travel for work, I watch the Today Show. Mm-hmm. And I put it on because it always says the time, which I enjoy. Because then I know what time it is.
First thing Liz does when she walks into that motherfucking Motel 6 is she pops on Today's Show, heads over to the minibar, and just pour me another.
All right, we gotta stop with this. But so I like to watch. So I was watching a little bit of highlights. Then I flipped on over to Morning Joe. You know I got to take in.
Was Mika there?
A little bit of Joe, a little bit of Minka.
It should be a crime for a woman whose first name is Mika to not be fine as fuck. Because that's a fine as fuck female name.
It is. I'm surprised you don't like her.
I don't like Mika Brzezinski. No. Well, I don't like her because of her race. But I don't think she's not hot.
Yeah,
Mika?
I don't know.
She's no Hoda.
No, she's no Hoda.
No, and she's no Jenna.
Bush Hager?
I actually don't know what she looks like.
Yeah.
In my head, I picture.
She's kind of like smeary blurry.
She's kind of got. Is she serving Meghan McCain?
She has no. She doesn't have Meghan McCain. Well, I think that both those ladies are of generous stature.
I was gonna say, does she? And pick up what I'm putting down here. Does she eat and leave no crumbs? Literally,
Leave no trace.
leave no trace. She leaves no trace on that plate.
No, I don't think. Well, whatever. But I do think that Jenna Bush Hager has the unfortunate like monochrome thing going on, where her hair is the same tone as her skin, which is like
Ebony.
why she kind of like smears and blurs out. Like she's kind of one big ombre.
Gotcha. Ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah, she's got like she's balayaged.
But
as a body.
you were watching Morning Ho, as they call him in Mexico.
Yeah. And well, then I went over to see. I'm flipping around.
Yeah.
On,
And what
on
did
the
you
old
see,
TV.
my queen?
So I watched a little bit of Obama, a little bit of Michelle Obama, and that was about it. Everyone was swooning over them. I gotta say, they look pretty good.
They do?
They do. That coastal liberal elite diet's got them looking pretty good. It's nice to be rich. It's nice to be an
rich.
Obama.
It's nice to be an Obama.
You don't have to tip, right?
What's his job? Yeah, and
His job is he is one of our colleagues. He's a content creator.
respect.
Yeah. He is the content creator in chief, actually. No, but everyone was swooning over not just Michelle's like impeccable delivery and her looks and her outfit. And oh my God, if she would just run, she would get like 100% of the vote. Ba-da-da-da-da. But Obama's big old chick joke.
So you show me the dick. I actually have to ask you a question. You showed me the dick joke several times in your phone.
Yeah, because when I kept showing it to you, you would look down at your phone into what you were doing. And I was like, no, you can't just listen to it. You got to look at it to get the joke. And you 3 times in a row just kept looking back at your phone at what you were looking at.
No, I looked at it. I saw what he was doing. So he said something about crowd sizes.
Yeah.
And then does he make a small penis gesture?
Yeah, can we play it right here?
There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes.
But what's he doing with his hands?
So as he's doing that, he's moving his hands back and forth in his like kind of like knowing Obama way, which is like he's talking about the size of
Trump's penis.
Yeah.
So I want to read from a novel. Well, not a novel, a nonfiction book that we've covered on the show before by a journalist.
A memoir.
A memoir by a journalist named Larry Sinclair who sucked Obama's penis 2 times while in Gurnee, Illinois in 1999 in the back of a limo from 5-Star Limousine and in the Gurnee Motel's Holiday Inn near Six Flags. He says that. So this is in the appendix to the book. Let us get and hyphenated down to some details about Barack Obama's penis.
Wait, you're going to confuse it because it's going to sound like Obama talking about himself.
Barack, well, maybe he is. Imagine Obama's saying this on stage last night.
Okay.
Barack is uncut or uncircumcised. He was at most approximately 8 to 8.5 inches in length. I take issue with that phrasing. He was at most 8 to 8.5 inches in length.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's weird. That's a rockin' hog. You're fucking crazy. The girth was thin in nature and had a hook to the left when facing him. Okay, so if you're facing Barack Obama...
We don't need to keep going.
Okay. Obama's left testicle clearly hangs lower than his right. The testicle hangs lower but is not larger or smaller in comparison to the right one. His pubic hairs were shaved. The most telling part of Barack Obama's penis is that under the head of the split, he has 3, to be exact, small pimple-type bumps. The bumps are not pimples per se, but are under the skin and lead downward to the shaft. This is from the memoir of Larry Sinclair, who claims he sucked Barack Obama's penis in 1999.
I remember this from the last time you read it, and it hasn't left my mind, and I wish it could.
I heard you. I can tell you think about it. Because sometimes I walk by you and I can hear your thoughts, and they're about this. He's capping because there's no way he remembers the pimples.
Yeah.
So Obama gets up there.
Thank you for that. I'm just like, this guy's lying.
He's lying. Which guy? The guy who said he sucked his dick?
That entire thing. No. Why is it so
Cap
detailed?
City. It's Cap City.
It's weird.
It's Cap City.
2 times.
I think he sucked someone's dick. And maybe he believed the man whose dick he sucked to be Barack Obama. But I don't think I
don't think Obama's a Six Flags guy.
No, Obama was just Obama was trying to have a good time in Gurney.
Okay.
He wasn't, because Obama, is a Chicago guy. He has to get out of Chicago proper so he can cheat on Michelle.
And smoke crack, right?
And smoke a little bit of rock. Yeah. Because he does say he is smoking.
Anyway.
Okay.
If people want to hear about this, there's an episode somewhere.
That we did.
Deep in the catalog.
Also, Tucker Carlson interviewed him last year.
So you could either listen to us or Tucker on that. Great. Anyway, they both spoke last night. People were swooning. People were, oh my God, they're so amazing. Everyone misses the Obamas. They command a room. They command a stage. I do have to say, it's like, you kind of forget how good of a, like, oh, damn, he really is talented at talking. Mm-hmm. Just from one content creator to another.
Just from one content creator.
Anyway, so I watched that, whatever. It was kind of a snooze. I saw a little bit of Kamala's husband.
Doug.
Dougie.
He's the most Doug of all Dougs I've ever seen in my life.
Where my hug, Emhoff?
He's he could use a slimming down.
You think he looks too Jewish?
He's a bit.
You think he's got a little bit of the Meghan McCain going on? He eats and he leaves no crumbs. He's serving. No, the waiter's serving.
He's kind of
him?
shaped like a tombstone.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if I've ever seen this.
Like
body.
he's got the sloped shoulders, but he's also kind of wide.
Fire hydrant style.
Yeah. He's built like a brick shithouse.
Anyway, so I didn't really care for him very much. No jokes. But then on my walkabout this morning, after I went to the gym, and
then hit the liquor store
listening to Pod Save America in preparation for what we're talking about today, because we saw both of the Pod Johns live in the flesh yesterday. Mm-hmm. And so I was listening to their coverage of yesterday's events at the DNC. First of all, snooze fest. Second of all, they are the most arrogant motherfuckers I've ever heard in my life, and I cannot believe it.
They are such disrespectful.
They are two
fuckers.
doctor disrespects, but not even doctors. I will not give them the dignity. They are nurse disrespect.
Yeah, you know what? They're fucking giving Hitler in the way that they're disrespecting American presidents. Like Hitler would talk about FDR being controlled by the plutocrats. It's like, which he meant Jews, because then sometimes he would also say that. They are fucked up dudes. I don't like them. As people think we're mean on this podcast, and yeah, like I say things sometimes jokingly, out of love, out of a place of deep appreciation for the Democratic Party and all its constituent members, which appear to be mostly sort of neurodivergent people of ambiguous everything. But they're cruel.
Yeah, they were like, we listened to an episode yesterday, which we had talked about in the last recording that was eaten by a robot, where they were discussing Josephette Robinette Bidenet's last rites, and which I do realize the fucking Democrats bumped him out of primetime, and so he went on as like syndicated shows were going on national coverage. I'm like, damn, kick the old man down on the way out or whatever.
And that's crazy to hear you say it because I've never heard you reference a bump in a negative way.
Oh my, Jesus Christ, dude.
You like that?
No.
Pretty good.
But they were being so crazy mean to Biden in a way that, like, I fucking hate Joe Biden. I hate Joe Biden's family. I hate Hunter Biden. I don't even think he's interesting, funny, or like redeeming in any way. I don't like Dr. Jill. I don't like any of them.
I don't like his fucking brother. I don't like I don't like Ashley. I don't like any of these fucking people.
I really they're fucking, it's the criminal Biden syndicate.
And yes, like, send him away. Like, after his disgraceful presidential journey comes to an end, send him away. Send him into exile in Portugal. Get him out of here. But the way that the Podjohns talked about him was so fucking cruel.
They were just like, yeah. I was like, please stop talking about that old man like that.
He's the president. You told me yesterday morning, when I awoke from my slumber, you told me, you're like, I'm listening to Pod Save America. And I'm like, well, Liz is so smart. I should do what she's doing. I press play on that motherfucking iTunes Touch, and I'm listening to it, and I could not believe these guys were such fucking dicks to him. They were like, I think his speech, and we're talking about DNC Night 1 now, but we're really talking about the Podjohns. The Podjohns were saying on their little fucking dinky little podcast, Pod Save America, oh, well, like, Biden should have boosted Kamala more. He was talking too much about what he did. He was talking too much about his accomplishments. He was talking too much. He's the president, you fucking cocksucker. What are you? You were the old presidents? The fucking speechwriter? You mean the guy who has no policy effects, who just writes like a joke like, hey, great to be here at the press club. You guys hear I got my dick sucked? Oh, no, I didn't. Like, you know what your fucking job is? Tommy Vader or whatever the fuck, whoever was the speechwriter. Your job was having Obama have to stay away from jokes about getting his dick sucked, which you know we want to talk about because people would remember what happened in motherfucking Gurney. And you had to have Obama go up there and be like, yeah, it's so great to be here in New Jersey. Glad Donald Trump isn't here. He's probably doing a crime. You are stupid. You are ChatGPT. What is your job? You're not changing the world. You're Obama's speechwriter.
Yeah. Well, then, this one today, I can't believe whatever. I'm never listening to this again. It was just for you guys. It was just for you guys and for this, for us, what we're talking about today. But yeah, when, I was listening to it this morning and they were talking about Obama's speech and they're like, well, once a staffer, always a staffer. I gotta say, just, full transparency, I helped write the speech.
12 years a staffer. You fucking, here's the thing. You'll never catch my ass being like, I'm a staffer. I'm the boss, bitch. I'm serving boss. I'm serving CEO. They are, you know what they're giving? They're giving slave morality. They're giving, they are giving, you know what the Podjohns are giving? To quote you a little bit, they're giving Untermensch. They're fucking nothing to me.
I don't say that.
Fuck these guys.
Well, okay. Let's get it out. We saw them in person.
And not through a scope.
No. Although I do think they scoped you. Let's pull back. Yesterday, which is what we're talking about, we went to an event. What was it called?
Creators
It
Got
was
Talent.
a content creators event. We went to yesterday. We went to.
Pull up my
I'm
notes.
just gonna read. You know what? I'm gonna read the party full invitation. I'm now standing. I'm standing and pacing, thinking about this because I'm getting so
it's good.
fucking pissed off. All right, it is called.
Oh my
this is
God,
the
my
party
notes
full
are really
invite.
good, you guys.
Oh, I forgot we took notes. Content Creators Got Talent, a PowerPoint battle. It's a PowerPoint featuring judges Anat Schenker-Osorio and Pod Save America's John Lovett and John Favreau. It's a PowerPoint battle for the ages! ! Can this crew of creators sway our panel of judges? And, 3 N's, you might learn a thing or two about persuading the masses, your audience, or at least your mom. And it is a fat ass you went from me on the Party Full invite. Let's set the scene.
Okay, so we roll up in the worst Uber I've ever been in my life.
Oof.
It's a delicate thing to complain about things like an Uber.
And I say that because I was getting car sick.
This is not us being like, this Uber was bad. This motherfucker was driving in the weirdest way I've ever seen in my life. He was going 4 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's like it was like, you know how when you're in a car and you're like looking for someone to shoot and you're like driving really slowly down the street before you shoot and then speed up? It's like we never got to the shoot and speed up part. It was
still
all scope.
Somehow slamming on the brakes and like rapidly accelerating.
I do not like being in Ubers. I prefer my own 2 feet, the freedom that I feel.
Legs.
Yes. My ass likes to walk. Mm-hmm. I get car sick
I was
very
car sick, too.
easily.
I don't
And
get car
I
sick
didn't
'cause
I didn't
I'm
like it. So that's what I was saying.
on my
Anyway,
phone.
so we get there. I immediately clock a massive black Escalade that is parked out front. And I was like, that's the motherfucking pod save SUV.
That's the pot Hitlers. That's the little fucking...
We go in and it is a gallery. There's a huge gallery.
Oh, yeah. What was I'm looking for the picture I took of it because it says the name. It was Into Action 2024, a festival of art, ideas, plus the power of voting.
I think a festival of art, ideas, and the power of voting kind of sums up a lot of the quote unquote events that are happening here, which is to say they are kind of just, I assume they were paid for by a bunch of grants that were fed through like a whole tree, like beautiful tree of NGOs that no one has ever heard of that are now putting on these bullshit gallery meetups that are actually just to disguise like networking events. It was just a networking event, right?
Yeah.
We also encountered our first land acknowledgement of the day.
Okay.
In this arts space. It's like, you should probably just acknowledge the people you clearly got out of this, what used to be a working class neighborhood, it looks like.
Yeah.
But it was what did the lady explain to us? It was a thing for BIPOC youth artists to get together, a nonpartisan nonprofit to go get out the message of spread the vote.
Yeah, something like that.
And
which is like, you just said that, and I'm like, I don't think that's what she said, but it also could have been. And
No, it was.
And it's just, it doesn't mean anything. What does that mean?
I don't know, but I just remember the minute she started talking and mentioned that it was for whatever, I don't know what BIPOC stands for, but for POC, I was like, you are white. And then I looked around, I'm like, everyone working here appears to be white.
Yes.
And I'm like...
And they all had really fantastic and eccentric eyewear.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
a lot of goofy kind of oh, that's a little quirky eyewear. Maybe I'm a gallerina.
Worked up.
Maybe I work at a nonprofit.
Well, we rocked into the back.
Bold jewelry.
Which was a lot of bold jewelry. We walked into the back, and there was a kind of like a studio.
Yeah.
With maybe 80 folding chairs out, half full.
How many people do you think were there?
I'm going to say there was 65 people there.
You
Yeah.
think? I was going to say 120.
120? 120?
I want to be nice.
Remind me not to have you do my taxes.
I don't know anything about crowd size.
This obsession with crowd sizes.
This obsession with crowd sizes. I thought it was actually a really big crowd. It was maybe, I'm going to say, maybe 80 people there, but by the end, there was 65 people there.
Yeah, we immediately walk in and I see the Pod Johns. I feel like they saw you.
You think they clocked me?
I think they did, because I think they're way more online than they give off.
I think I look insolent.
Well, we stuck out.
Yeah.
By the way, God, we're not blending in well.
No.
We-
I thought we would because we're Democrats.
No.
We gotta
Grace,
dress like Democrats.
We are not dressed to blend in.
Yeah.
People can see that we are uncomfortable. They can see the scowl on my face.
Yeah. They could see me hustling my balls.
What?
You know, when you put your fucking shit
Okay,
in there, you
that's
kind of
enough.
rock them around.
Anyway, so we didn't blend in well. I think people knew that we were unfriendlies.
Yeah.
And we sit in the audience. I have no idea what to expect because I don't know what a dueling PowerPoint presentation is. I didn't understand. I could not get anything from what you read, like what this event was going to be. But they introduce basically what's going to be a competition of content creators pitching like campaigns.
The judges they had appeared to be a elderly woke Jewess,
Yes.
a young black dude,
He's
I
like a
think it was
like
TikToker.
19-year-old black TikTok guy,
a drag queen.
a drag queen.
Yeah.
The Pod Johns.
And then they appeared to be given like sheets where they were taking notes and possibly score giving.
Yeah.
And there was a lineup. I could see that the people kind of lined up on the side of the stage were definitely going to go on the stage because they looked very manicured in a way that everyone else in the crowd did not, except for there was a woman sitting next to me who I thought was like a journalist. But then when I was looking at the DNC Creators Lounge TikTok trend earlier today, she appears to be a DNC style TikTok creator. But I'm like, dude, she's got like 3,000 followers. The woman sitting next to me, I was like, I looked at her TikTok. She had 3,000 followers. I'm like, they didn't let us in the Creators
Get those
Lounge?
numbers up.
We have 1 billion
I'm
followers.
dying to get in the creators.
And
Lounge.
I'm a Democrat.
Okay. Well, okay, so the competition starts. I'm not going to go through all of the different. I don't think there's a need for us to go through all the different creators.
I would feel bad because all of
I
it
don't want to
was
like talk too much shit.
irredeemably whack. And
It
I'm sorry, like it was giving corny. It was giving bitch made. It was giving lame. It was giving kill myself. It was giving. I was sitting there and I thought, I'm 34 years old. I've gone through a lot in my life. I've loved. I've lost.
Yeah, you
I've
wrote
lived,
a
I've
whole
learned.
thing out.
Because it was like having to repeat it to myself to like situate myself in the
Yeah.
situation.
You needed your gender donkey.
I needed to reassert my gender. I did need to feel like a man again because it was one of the most emasculating fucking displays I've ever seen in my life.
Everything was brat.
I know we said this yesterday.
We need to say it again. My dear friend, I love you so much. We are putting you in prison for this.
I'm so sorry.
You
But
need to
it's
be
done.
tried for crimes. The amount of neon green and like attempting to look like Brat font, aka Arial, and like, oh, it's a little blurry. Oh, it's a little extended. Oh, like I want to die.
It made me want to. I just wish I had a bomb implanted in my chest by a terrorist. Well, I don't want to say that, but I will. It made me feel so insane. The first woman who got up, and I'm not going to say her name, but because I don't remember it. But she had like
She was a Zoomer
She was a
creator.
Zoomer. That woman.
She was a motherfucking Zoomer. She had the fucking Zoomer sunglasses.
Big
She had
pants.
Big pants.
Tiny top.
Tiny top. She's talking about Girliepops. She's talking about brat. She's talking about TikTok talking language. And she's got these brat things on. It was crazy. It was called like, I can't remember what her company was called. I don't even want to say the real name, but it was called like Oomfies or something like that. And like I was sitting there and I was like, bro, we're about to have a fascist in the White House. You cannot be up here with your oomfies bullshit, baby. Donald Trump is going to be in the White House. And you know what? He's going to do Project 2025. And at this point, I hope he does. I hope he makes you illegal. I don't mean any disrespect. It's all love.
One thing I do want to say, though, that was very funny is this person was pitching a kind of like TikTok TV show, which I'm like, don't call it a TV show on TikTok. I want to die.
Oh, you're
But
right.
it was like something about, she was talking to like people about being gay or whatever. Everything is so gay.
We don't mean that in a fucked up way, but we got to talk about that in a second.
Yeah, but that one people, she said a line that I wrote down that I could, she was like, well, it's good because sometimes even queer people don't know queer history. And so we're here to educate. I'm just like, bro, get me the gun.
Yeah, it's done. The show's called Gaydar, which, by the way, I could make that same show and make it 1,000 times better because it would be me going, "You are gay?" No,
No,
it was so like it felt like somebody making fun of Gen Z liberal stuff because it was like this white lady had the show, but the actual host of Gaydar was like. And it was very smugly said, like, you know, it's like, it's a black drag queen. And it was like, it's like, what are you doing? How is this helping the Democrats? Like, you just are pitching a TikTok show about, like, do you know what Stonewall was?
Yeah.
It's like you should just go. It's literally, it's not different than you doing gay son or thought daughter at Times Square at 2 a.m. What's the biggest bird you've ever seen?
I kept looking at the Padrons because their ass is like, man, I'm supposed to meet with Barack later to go over like potential dick jokes, and I'm at this I'm judging these like Zoomer bitches who can't come up with anything.
It made me feel so, and it was all brat font. All brat font. It was I would say the two biggest themes of all the presentations we saw was brat
and demure. Which didn't that just happen like last week?
Yeah.
And I don't understand it.
You don't need to.
Well, they don't understand it either. They just say it.
That's true of all internet lingo.
Yeah.
That's like.
But here's the thing, Brent.
You just call me Brent?
I did.
Your gaydar is broken, Hunty. But Brent's
love you,
good
Brent.
looking.
I love you.
But you are not forgiven for Brad Summer, bro.
Thank you, by the way, for doing our logo.
But that does not matter. You could tell it to the judge, motherfucker.
Brace.
Yeah.
I do not want you to know what demure is. I don't want you to know what Chapel Roan is. I don't want you to know what any of these things are because, repeat after me, you are a man.
I'm a man.
And you can do anything.
But Liz, what if I'm serving a little bit today?
No.
No, but
Brace, you are a man.
But I'm giving freedom.
Shit, what was the light? Do you watch Industry?
No.
Oh, never mind.
What's
they had
no?
an amazing thing.
Oh.
You are a man.
No, you're actually. I don't watch Industry, but I actually been watching this really cool show called Gaydar, and I've been watching. I'm trying to think of like a liberal TV show.
I'm breaking out of this. There was, I will say, one redeeming moment where a 38-year-old white man took the stage.
Wasn't young, or maybe he was just a heavy
Who
smoker.
I noted was wearing a lady's headband.
Yeah.
Didn't
what was
like
up with
that. He was looking kind of funky.
I wrote his name. I don't want to say it. Let's call him Daniel.
Daniel.
I wrote Daniel is old. That was my first note because literally everyone in the crowd was like a 15-year-old TikToker. This man has had Botox, which I appreciated.
You can tell that from that?
I mean, I could. He was dropping F-bombs left and right.
He was saying not the gay one. He was saying the regular swear one. He was saying fuck.
The Johns were going wild over this.
The Johns were going wild over him?
Over his crazy F-bomb dropping. No one could understand what his whole deal was.
Yeah.
There was no real pitch.
Yeah.
He was kind of old. We're not really sure how he got in. And so I was like, this is the kind of energy that I like. This is destabilizing.
Yeah. And he was talking about Gaza a little bit, during which the Padjons did seem very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I did appreciate that. Unfortunately, afterwards we talked to him, and my appreciation did not stay at the same level.
Yeah.
I'll say, because he said that his politics were more socialist aligned, but he wants to convince people that you know where I'm going with this.
Then some girl took the stage talking about climate, and literally everyone started sleeping.
Yeah.
And I am with you on like how important this issue is. It's something that gives me great pause. I'm being very respectful here. Nobody likes to hear about it.
We retreated into the goon cave of the mind.
No one.
Yeah.
And like everyone's trying to you're not going to find a meme that'll get people to fucking talk about global warming. It's just not going to happen.
There was also somebody who was pitching a show called The Demure Debater, and I got to be honest, I what's it called? Depersonalized? Uh-huh. I depersonalized during that, and I actually
Depersonalizing during the Demure Debater.
I was trying to remember war as much as possible.
Yeah, I saw that in your notes. I was looking over your shoulder, and you were like, I have been in the jungle. I have shotguns.
I was just trying to remind myself, like, I am a man. I am a man. Dude, they're doing something to these people. They got an agenda, bro. It was crazy.
That was weird.
I wrote, I hate memes, no more memes. Everyone shut the fuck up. Stop talking. Content creators got talent made me a fascist. Content creators got nothing. I miss the owl lady.
I wrote, get ready with me, white Z-Way, Why does it sound so bad?
There was a lot of white Z-Way energy.
The ratio is crazy. Hella females.
Feel like white Z-Way.
Are we this? I wrote, "Are we this?" because I was like, "Are we Democrat content creators?"
I had that moment too, where I
Yeah.
was looking around and I was like, "Wait, are they looking at me? Like I'm looking at them?" And like, wait a second, are we this? Like, is this what we do? Are we this?
Are we
Grace?
human?
I wrote, "Content creators got pussy."
No, that's not.
But and then there was a woman who like pitched a satirical 1950s sitcom about
Yeah, she had a show on Quibi.
on Quibi. And I was like, I maybe would be like, why are the 1950s sitcom like housewife, whatever, like Edward Scissorhands home, like why is that a cultural touchstone for like people who were born in like 1996?
Also, it wasn't a sitcom. It's a TikTok video.
Well, yeah, but
Insulting
it was
to
like,
the sitcom genre.
well, not a good genre. But yeah, it was not. It was like a 1 minute like now this ass progressive video.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is that a touchstone?
The amount of theater kid energy that was seeping out of these people's pores was making me really extremely uncomfortable as someone who was a theater kid.
Yeah.
You guys both were.
But these are theater kids who never got the lead in the high school theater, but now you can get the lead in your TikTok-ass Democrat national convention.
I just like, I don't know. I mean, it was really tough for me during that last and final one. I mean, this whole thing lasted like an hour.
2 hours.
Was it really 2 hours?
It was 2 hours. It
Felt
was an
like
hour
3.
and a half, maybe.
And there was the kind of like older Jewish lady who was there on the judges panel.
And you were like clutching the arms of your chair. We missed one.
She was like, I have some constructive feedback for you.
Yeah.
Queeby lady who was wearing, I will say, a very ill-fitting double-breasted suit. And she's like, when people are presented a lot of negative stuff, even when it's presented in a humorous manner, our feedback tells us that it tends to activate their cynicism. And they were like talking like this, like talking out of fucking like marketing,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like marketing session.
It was like PR talk.
Focus group stuff.
Yeah, focus group stuff where they were just like, I don't know, who says activate their cynicism? And so they were like, well, please use this kind of language. And when you use this, like people tend to respond this way. And that's how you can like, these are like little tweaks you can do to your TikToks to make them more effective at getting out the vote. And it's like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Could you imagine tweaking a TikTok to get out the vote? What sort of perverse
But they are
psycho
pouring so
you?
much fucking money into this. Like, that's the
Yes.
thing is like, I know it's like every motherfucking person covering the DNC at PAC News, at Semaphore, at Politico, at TrueAnon is talking about this. But like the sheer amount of like creator energy and like Democrats love creators. We support our creators. We love TikTok. We love influence. Like all over this thing is nauseating.
We're serving Chaperone. We're serving Brat Summer. We're serving what other fucking gay shit they come up with this year. I don't know. They're serving all of it, and you know what? I'm not hungry. It is, but it's you're right. Like, this entire thing, it seems so much like the TikTok 20-year-old DNC.
Yeah.
Like, that's the public face of it. And, like, you know, frankly, it'll probably work for them.
I guess.
I mean, in my head, that's how, like, all young people mediate the world now.
I guess I just thought these were more like caricatures of people, but now I'm seeing them in real life and getting really, really fucking depressed.
I realized that before this weekend, I don't know if I've ever really met a real Democrat before. Because I'm like, these must be like the real Democrats. Like, this is their Nuremberg. And like, this is like the conference, not the trial. Like the party conference. How do you not remember that? Like, you're in the fucking...
Okay.
But it was like, it was so weird to hear people like talk about being a Democrat. Like when the old lady kind of got up there. He wasn't that old, but you know.
I mean, compared to like the
Relatively.
teenagers on stage.
Yeah. She got up there and she was like, we have the 3 F's. It's like, was freedom, family, and what was the third F? It wasn't
Not
faith.
what fucking Daniel was saying.
Not what Daniel was saying. Freedom, family, and our futures. And I was like, this is crazy that someone's really talking to me like this in real life. Like, what are you fucking talking about? You were in like the studio of some like nameless NGO who has a giant exhibit that literally not a single person was walking through, that probably cost millions of dollars of like filtered fucking Hewlett Packard, Walmart, fucking Boeing funds. I don't know, maybe, but it looked like it to me. And it's like,
Looked
we're
like
here
it to me, too.
with 70 people, and you've got these fucking young TikTokers you're parading on stage to keep them on the motherfucking Democrat plantation, to keep all the young people on the motherfucking Democrat plantation. And you're like, you have, which is, I'm sorry for saying that if that's offensive to anybody. Now that I said it out loud, it does sound a little funky coming from my mouth, but I'm going to keep rolling. But you have them up here to like convince young people to keep voting for your little mini Hitlers every year. It's like, this is fucking insane.
I know. It was. Also, I've said this before, I say it again. Fucking Pod John #1 looks like Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
He's like stretched out.
One of those guys.
They're quite small.
One guy was small. The other guy appeared to be like normal.
That's the Stretch Armstrong one.
No, I don't think that is it. The Stretch Armstrong one, I think it's Tommy Vader.
No,
Vader.
Stretch Armstrong is John Favreau.
John Favreau. People call him that?
Yeah.
Because he looks like he's been like, he looks like Taffy, a Taffy pull.
He was the only guy there that looked normal. Like actually, he was one of the only guys, if in fact I saw in the audience. I mean, he wasn't even in the audience; he was on stage.
Anyway,
we
got the fuck out of there.
All I wrote down were question marks. I was just making Tucker face the whole time. It took 10 minutes after to unfurrow my brow.
I was just like the whole time. I actually felt bad for the content creators because I was like, they know not what they do. And that's why I don't want to name any of them. Like, I'm just like.
We don't name and shame on this show.
Well, yeah, we do. That's actually really, I would say, the number one thing we do.
Like that.
I know. Because it's like, they, you know what? One day, after significant re-education in a rural type of environment.
An internment camp.
Yeah, you will understand that the Democrat Party is not for you, but you will be a firm embrace of national democracy. But we left. We had one last event that we wanted to go to yesterday. You mean when Rosario Dawson gave me a hug?
Oh, I forgot about that.
And I wanted to kiss me, but held back.
That's not exactly what I saw.
I was much closer to her, and I could see her lips puckering, but I could also see the force of will holding back her face from putting him next to mine.
She looked fantastic.
Who is she?
First of all, she's gorgeous.
She is a fucking good-looking woman.
She is beautiful.
Wowza.
She was taking a little tour. Planned Parenthood had like a van there that was like, get abortions, get vasectomies, get whatever you want.
Vasectomy there. Should I have gotten in there?
Yeah.
But I want a baby.
Oh.
I love babies.
Yeah, so she was like walking around. Maybe she was, I don't know what she was doing, but she was just like chilling, hanging out. There was I don't know, guys, there was like a taco truck and like a fucking art installations everywhere. There was a car, a pink pickup truck
like an art
that
car.
Was painted up to look like a cat, and then it had like a silver robot mirror cat in the back of the pickup, and it said what was it, single cat ladies,
childless cat lady
van, but I thought it was pussy wagon. I think it was both, and kind of a both.
What I'm
situation.
driving is the pussy wagon.
But so that was there. There was a giant inflatable IUD.
I know, which was very difficult.
It was a shame because it should be doing the like crazy guys, like wow, like the guys at the.
Wait, you think that the giant inflatable IUD should have had the floppy arms?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. That would have been approachable.
It was kind of too stagnant.
Yeah.
It was, it was giving Soviet architecture.
Also, you don't even need IUDs. You can just squeeze a lemon in there after.
I don't think you know what any of that means.
I do.
Then we got out of there. And also shout out to the girlies tabling at Chicago Abortion Funds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to them. We talked to them for a bit. If you need an abortion, talk to them. Then we went back and we had one last event to go to. which was the Mueller She Wrote cocktail reception hour
MSW Media.
at the JW Marriott.
So we go down to the Jewish Women's Marriott. And
It was a Jewish women's Marriott.
and it was very, you know what? I'm trying to talk like a Democrat. The Marriott was Marriotting.
Yeah.
And we walked up the stairs, which were staring. And we went to a truly
Baffling.
baffling.
MC Escher-esque.
Labyrinthine.
Yes, hallway, looking for the Adams Ballroom. Now, we could not find it. We peeked in many a room.
Many a ballroom.
They were all abandoned.
Not a soul in sight.
They did not leave no trace. There were plenty of abandoned muffins, banana, other danishes, etc., that had been left by extremely messy and not climate-oriented, good middle-class folk.
Every door I opened to, I bore witness to history.
Herstory.
To herstory of pigs. It was every room I opened. Is Mueller She Wrote in here? No, pigsty. Is Mueller She Wrote in here? Pigsty.
Let me tell you this.
Shithouse Central.
What I have learned is that the Democrats are trashing the JW Marriott.
I have never seen, you know what? I'm going to tell you Led Zeppelin at their peak when they were doing that shit with the fishies could never even come close to what these Democrats are doing to the JW Marriott. I am telling you, I'm surprised we didn't fucking get Hep C from stepping on a needle. These places were disgusting.
It took us about 20 minutes to make our way through all these ballrooms.
Yeah.
Ben Brace tried to scare me, but he didn't.
I did stand behind. I ran in front. I ran ahead of Young Chomsky and Liz, and I hid in a hallway because it was again it was like a maze. And as they were about to pass by where I was going to jump out and go ah. But then Liz caught me.
Yeah, I caught you.
She knew I was going to do it.
I knew
she
what
could
you were
sense
doing.
I was going to do it.
I knew what you were doing. You know, we have fun here.
We finally get to the Mueller She Wrote soiree, and I'm expecting something like the second half of that movie, High Rise, or the book.
I'm excited.
Me too.
I want to see. I'm like, wait a second. What are you doing now?
I want to know what she wrote.
I actually don't really know what's. I know that it was, I think, more hugely popular, but it's like a big old Democrat thing.
Well, and we had been in Brat Hell World for the past 2 days, and I was like, you know what? I need some good old resistancing to cleanse the palate.
Yeah, like this
Get
new
me out of all of this. Like, I don't want to be in meme world.
No.
I want to know what the fuck is up with James Comey?
Like, I don't want to, like, exactly, because to me, I think the big divide was that Gen Z was serving CUNT, but I want to go somewhere where they're serving FUPA. And so we were like, we need some older fucking Democrats to, like, get us down to earth.
Yeah.
To be like, you know what? He is a Russian spy. We're locking this fucker up.
Yeah.
Like, the fucking democracy's on the ballot.
And
Well, I
it
guess-
dies in darkness.
And the guy dies. It's about to die in darkness.
which is why we're shining a light.
Peter Strazak. You know what I'm saying? Peter Strazak.
No, what is that?
He was an FBI gentleman.
Okay.
Peter Strazak. We need. I want to be served Vindman. I want to be served Strazak. I want to be served. I'm sure there's another one. Whoever Strazak was maybe having sex with, because there was a bit of that in the
Right.
FBI thing.
I want to see through the disinformatskaya.
Yeah,
Learn about
exactly.
compromat.
Yeah. Like I want to be like I want to go back to 2017. And when we walked in this room, it was like we were going back to the beginning of time because there was not a man. There was not a man in there, not a woman in there either.
There was one woman, a bartender.
There was a bartender who was like, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah, she was a confused bartender. There was no one in there. We went in. Plenty of cocktail tables.
And Liz, I saw Liz's just start sweating when she saw the liquor.
Okay. We think we're just like there. Like that we're just, well, we'll have to wait. That's what I
Yeah.
thought. And then Mrs. Mueller comes out. I assume that's her name. I don't know.
Did you guys recognize her? Like, do you
No.
know
I
what
don't
she looked
looks-
like?
No.
I
knew it was her.
It was only I didn't know it was her until we started talking to her, and then I was like, "Oh, this is Mueller woman."
So she walked up and she immediately was like, "Who the fuck are these people?" Shot
I mean,
at her.
Fair enough. By the way, we do not look like we should be here.
Yeah.
I want to be. Let me be clear. We do not look right,
We're serving normal. We're giving.
babe. we are not
You don't
serving
think I serve normal?
No.
Why? It's because I wear pants with really big drop crotches in the Spanish
You're
style.
always doing your hammer time.
I'm doing my hammer time. It's to hide the fact that I get really long, thin boners, Obama style. Because I'm like maybe eight and a half inches, but I got skinny.
All right. But anyway, she was just like, "Who the fuck are you?"
But when she shot out her hand to give a handshake, I looked down, and on her wrist was the Obama logo.
Yeah, she had she was tatted.
She was branded by.
She
Obama.
had a lot of tattoos, actually.
She was kind of tatted up, and
I
some of them
did-
were of an Oriental nature.
I liked
Colorful.
her look. I liked her, like, I thought, first of all, really lovely shade of, like, gray, silver hair.
Yeah.
And it was very smooth, not a frizz on her.
I gotta say, she was significantly less. Like, I thought she would be crazy fucked up looking. Not even crazy fucked up looking. I thought she would just kind of be an old, ugly Democrat. But she was, like, kind of hip with it. Not hip in, like, the sense of, like,
She had a
young.
little bit of bohemian in her.
I'd say, like 90s bohemian style.
Yeah, you could tell she was, like, in the 90s, she was really, like, she was progressive.
Yeah.
She was liberal. She was politically correct. And she had, took issues with, the, free trade.
She also, I believe, did stolen valor.
Yeah.
That's what the allegations are.
What are those allegations? She
I-
was waltzing?
It's extensive.
That she maybe waltzed a little bit. I think maybe hers were waltzes is like he lied a little bit to make himself sound more baller, but hers is I think like a lot of fabrications.
Wait,
maybe.
but like what?
Like she lied about what she did for like a long time.
But what did she do?
I think about like her family. Who she had this story. It was like there was a very long Twitter thread.
I think
Not
there was
interesting.
multiple lies.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, but there was one lie.
But
about,
it was like about being in the military?
Her family's
Yes.
military service. I think there was some lies about. I don't know. I'm literally just trying to remember things that I only half paid attention to like 7 years ago.
Yeah, she seemed like a fine old lady.
That's the thing. We did go in there and she clocked it right away. I'm going to be real. We went in there with judgments.
Yeah.
And we went in there prepared to use our eyes to make more judgments.
For you guys, by the way.
For you fucking people. Because even though I'm a nice person deep down, our audience capture makes me act mean. And then she clocked us and she was like, this is for patrons only.
And she asked us to leave.
Well, the
Yes.
problem is we always go into these situations and we haven't agreed ahead of time on like what our cover story is.
But you started talking.
Yeah,
Well,
you opened
It
your
was
mouth.
you
I was making
volunteering
small
too
talk.
much.
No.
But she's
You
like,
were not making small talk,
No,
my
you
man.
broke protocol.
You broke protos.
because she's like, who are you? And then there's silence because no one.
No, Brace handles everything.
Yeah,
I'm
but-
the liar.
But you didn't lie though.
Because you gave the truth.
No, I didn't say. You said TrueAnon, and then it got weird.
No,
she's-
that was after you talked because he had to clean up what you said.
Well, I said we're not in the DNC. We're at.
No,
the
but that's what
DNC.
you
You
don't
said we couldn't. You
say.
said we got denied from the DNC.
Yeah,
Well,
we
that's
did.
true.
You never volunteer. Here's the deal about lying. You're talking to the Gaslight God. 101 classes in session. Tommy Theater, whatever, Josh Hartnett, all the Podjons, sit the fuck down.
Josh Hartnett.
I'm giving you a PowerPoint presentation. If you lie, never volunteer a scintilla more of information than you need to. And always be like, act like you own there and you fucking, I am a patron. We should have just been like, we love you. We are patrons. Mueller, she wrote, I'm reading. You gotta lie.
Well, we just need to agree.
No, no one
beforehand.
needs to agree.
We don't need to agree because you were telling the truth. We need to
You
lie.
No, we need to follow Brace.
I'm just, believe me, I'm this whole
This
life.
is something I have learned.
Follow Brace. Because the
And
last.
you know what? That's my gift to you, saying that out loud.
Thank God. And I take that really seriously because the last guy that she followed killed himself in a bunker.
That's, oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. This is the last episode I'm doing it on.
That's what you say.
The
You
last
lie.
episode
But
today.
you lie.
I do lie. You lie.
Um,
I'm speaking.
I am sorry, Mrs. Mueller.
I know. I actually felt
I
bad
don't
as
know
we were
her
leaving.
name. Is her name Mueller?
I don't know. I've never heard the
Because that would be
podcast.
so crazy if her name was Mueller and she talked about
Her name
the
was
guy
Allison.
Mueller.
She told us.
Oh, her name. Yeah, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, I remember stuff like that.
Well,
When women tell me their names.
But we walked out of there and Liz felt really guilty.
I did. I
You were
felt
like,
really
I
bad.
don't know if
I didn't want to hurt her feelings. I really don't like making fun of people to their face. And I was just like, this is a fellow content creator. And I don't want to think. This is what I don't want. I don't want her thinking that TrueAnon is in the bum fights business.
We're not. We are in the bum fight business.
And what I mean by that is that kind of crude creation work that just goes and makes a mockery of hardworking American people.
Like pranksters.
I'm not about that life. And I think it's cheap. I think it's like we are above that. We have more to say. We have more to do. We can do more. All of that great stuff. And I just don't like being mean to these people. We don't know her.
She's a mechanic for the regime, my baby.
She's just a squirrel trying to get a nut.
She's just a squirrel trying to get. That is true, actually. You know what? Actually, I am fucking wrong. You're right.
Oh my God.
She's a squirrel trying to get a nut, and I cannot fucking. We are all just squirrels trying to get a nut. Thankfully, my nut is moral and right and righteous, and my nut will be the annihilating wave that washes away all the detritus that these pigs of the regime have left on the beach of history. But in the meantime, squirrels can get nuts, bro.
Anyway, I just don't want to be mean to the Mueller lady.
I think she should make as much money as possible off the people who would listen to Mueller, She Wrote.
Also, when we were leaving, we definitely saw Mueller fans, and I was like, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
What were we thinking?
Yeah.
Because they look different.
They
from
did
us.
look different.
Yeah.
They looked a little bit funky with it.
Well, guys, that was day 2. What did we learn?
I think yesterday, the thing is that we recorded yesterday, but about day 1. But yesterday hardened our hearts in a serious way.
Yeah, which is why we were so loopy with it on.
But what I thought was
yesterday's podcast.
interesting is actually seeing the lone Mueller, She Wrote lady in this depressing hotel ballroom with the fucking...
Which was very difficult to get to.
The back rooms.
The back rooms of the fucking hotel.
With those dusty Danishes.
Dusty Danishes, the curtains over the window, the depressed bartender sitting behind the fucking Jameson well whiskey ass bar. I think that actually opened our hearts again, and we said, we feel pity now.
Yeah.
Are we still Democrats?
Are we not men?
We are not. Oh, we are not men. Well, I think today I feel more Democrat, but I'm leaning Republican. But I could be swayed by if I hear some really good speeches.
You know me. I'm all about independent thought.
Yeah.
Thinking for myself.
I like ideas from both parties.
And coming to my own conclusions. So I need to do a bit more research.
Mm-hmm.
And, listen to my heart.
I'm fiscally conservative and sexually criminal.
I learned that creators got talent.
I don't know if I actually learned that.
I don't think they do.
That first woman did.
They should have put a question mark. Creators got talent?
They had an apostrophe for no that didn't
In
fit.
my honest assessment, that first woman is probably going to go somewhere and have a millennial like tin fish ass branding business. She doesn't need the Democrats. She should get out of the Democrat stuff.
Yeah.
Like she should be lib, whatarded, whatever. But like get out of the Democrat business. Fees lady. Second lady, I don't remember, but she was. She also should. I looked at all of their TikToks afterwards. Basically, all of you are not being served by getting close to the Democrats. All of you should just be normie, serve, get ready with me, content creation kind of shit.
Babe.
Get away from the Dems.
Be a squirrel. Go get a nut.
Be a squirrel, go get a nut. Because the Pod Johns are not giving you a nut. They are taking all their nuts for themselves because they are busting the Pod Save America Union, which we support. Solidarity forever. We support you, in fact, more than we support.
We did come up with a new plan, which is we need to be bought by Crooked Media.
Yeah.
The podcast, TrueAnon.
Yeah.
We would like to sell our show to Crooked Media. I think they need a kind of wacky, conspiracy-minded, debunking show.
We fight misinformation with misinformation.
Yeah. We get a little funky with it. And then we can, salt it from the inside.
Yeah. We want to salt Pod Save America. The pod guys. I actually do want to salt you, and while I eat you, bitch. With that being said, we actually got to go because we got to get ready for the show tonight. My name is fucking Brace.
I'm Liz. We are, of course, joined by...
Young Chomsky.
And this has been TrueAnon. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein.